share my screen with you. And let's see what I have dialed up for today. Okay. What do you see here, Alexis?
3 different pictures.
All right. Now, do you see that one of the pictures is a picture of me?
Yes.
Can you tell I'm wearing the same shirt that I have on now?
Yeah.
It's the exact same shirt. I'm bad about that. I'm a dude, man. I don't worry about changing my clothes a lot, especially as a teacher. This is my uniform, so I have plenty of these
Yeah.
shirts. So it always looks like I got the same shirt on. Sometimes it'll have the Marietta M logo on it, and sometimes it won't. Now, can you tell that those other two pictures are of the same lady?
Yes.
All right. What do you think is going on there?
I have no idea.
All right. Well, that's a good answer because I can tell you very quickly. This lady lives in my neighborhood. I live over near the Aldi on Powder Springs Road and Cunningham Road. You know where that is?
No.
Okay. All right. So that's over on the west side of Marietta. So she is practically one of my neighbors. She's a senior citizen, and I help her whenever she has issues with her computer because she primarily uses her computer to FaceTime and Skype and Zoom with her son and her grandchildren. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So her computer is very important to her because that's her lifeline to the world, especially now that everybody is staying in their house all the time. So she developed some issues with the camera on her computer that she uses to do the connecting via Zoom with her family. So she asked me to help her out with her camera problem. So we solved the camera problem on her laptop. Then she had a similar problem on her desktop. So what we ended up doing with her desktop is we bought her another camera. And yesterday we installed it. So if you look at the picture in the upper left corner, that is a picture of her laptop being logged in to a Zoom meeting with me. And if you look at the picture on the bottom, that's a picture of her new camera in her desktop logged into that same meeting to show her that her new camera is really nice and looks a little better than her laptop camera. Now, do you agree with that? Does the picture on the bottom look a little clearer, a little brighter than the picture in the upper left corner?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Now, do you have any idea how me and this lady came to talking to each other?
Mm, through Zoom.
Not really. Can you tell we kind of look nothing alike and probably don't look like we
Yeah.
have a lot in common? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So um, I have run a program, man, for almost 25 years that takes old computers and I rebuild them and then I redistribute them. That means I take them from people who don't want or need them anymore. I fix them up and then I get them to people who do need them. You ever heard of anything like that?
Yes.
All right. All right. So yeah, that's what I do. And I call my program CHIP, CHIP. And that stands for Computer Hardware Investigation and Procurement. That's a fancy name, but CHIP is simple enough. So
Yeah.
since 1998, man, I have probably collected and redistributed over 1,000 computers.
Oh damn.
Yeah, and I keep a lot of them on hand all the time. And I've been doing that since 1998. So I have to tell you that since March, a lot of what I've been doing since 1998 has been validated. Now, do you understand what I mean when I use that word, validated?
No.
It tells me I'm on the right track, that I'm actually doing something worthwhile and something that is helpful to
Oh
people.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have given away 15 computers since March. And guess who I have given them to, Alexis?
Her.
No,
Mm,
my students,
students.
my
Oh, students.
students, my students, the students that I teach at
Oh,
PLC. Because even though our school district is giving computers away, there are always cracks in
yeah,
any system. And there are always people who kind of fall through the cracks.
yeah,
And sometimes those people are people who look and sound like you and me, if you get what I'm saying. So,
yeah,
so almost all of those computers have gone to people of color, black people, brown people, African American, Latinx. That's who I've been giving these to, because for several reasons. Back when they first announced the computers, you had to sign up for the computers on a computer. Now, Alexis, if
yeah,
you need a computer and you're asked to sign up for the computer on the computer, that's a crack. You see what I'm saying? That's a crack.
yeah.
Everybody doesn't have a computer to sign up. And even if you have a phone, it may not be the easiest thing in the world to fill out a form on a
Mm-mm.
phone. So you got a lot of people who aren't applying for the computers that are available. I've helped a lot of those people. Now, the way I get those computers, Alexis, is I have an advertisement in my neighborhood on nextdoor.com. You ever heard of Nextdoor?
I think I have.
It's a social network that mostly older people hang out on to
Yeah,
communicate with people in their neighborhood. So that is actually how I met Miss Gretchen. Is I had an ad up on Nextdoor, and she responded to the ad. I said, "Hey, if you have any old stuff in your house, any computer stuff, and you're just going to get rid of it, why don't you call me? Let me take a look at it. I might be able to use it in my program." So she called me up,
yeah,
and that's how we met. And she brought me a laptop, a very nice laptop, and she said, "I'm ready to throw this laptop away because it won't do what I need it to do." So I asked her what she wanted it to do. She said, "Hey, I want it to communicate with my grandkids, but it never works. So I'm just going to give it to you." I said, "Hold up, sister. You may not want to do it like that now. Maybe we can do something to fix it, because this is a pretty new laptop. I'm not used to getting stuff like this. You may not want to give this to me just yet." So this is a couple of years ago when we met, right?
yeah, yeah,
So I tinkered with it and I fixed it for her. And she's had several problems of the same variety since then, but each time we fixed it. And I think the last time she called me up, she said, "Look, I've made a decision. I no longer want to use the laptop to do my Zooming. I want to use my desktop now." So that's when we bought her a new camera that we installed last night. So as
yeah.
soon as we got it working, and as soon as she saw that picture at the bottom there, man, do you know what she did?
She screamed.
Well, she definitely did that. But then the next thing she did was she said, "Well, look, you've been preventing me from giving you to this laptop for 2 years now. I'm going to make you take this laptop from me now."
Mm,
And I said, "Yes, ma'am," because I have a need and a use for it now. I have more students who need stuff. So I was like, "Oh, sure, I'll take that laptop," because it's still nice. It's a couple of years older, but it's still nice. Still very
yeah.
nice. Yeah, so that's what I do. And where do you live, man? What part of town do you live in?
I live like 2 minutes away from right here at PLC.
Okay, okay. So would you call that downtown around the square?
Yeah, around the square.
Okay, all right. That's cool. Because what I've been wanting to do since I came to PLC is create a club that does stuff just like this.
Yeah,
And the people that I'm going to ask to be in the club are people who have gotten computers from me, because they would know firsthand, hey, this is really worth doing. And there's a
yeah,
need for this, even though our district is giving away brand new computers. Those work for a lot of people, they won't work for everybody. And the current crack in the system, Alexis, is they will repair your computer or give you a new computer if anything happens to yours, but they only do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the morning.
um,
Now, who is most able to come during that time frame, Alexis? Probably people who don't need computers in the first place.
yeah,
people who don't have parents, who have jobs, who have to go to work, who are able to take their child to the school. It is what it is. That's when they have made them available, but that's what tells me, hey, I better keep doing what I'm doing so that I can plug the cracks. So one thing I'm doing now is I am buying power adapters for those Chromebooks
Yeah.
because people lose them, people break them, and they stop working. And if you're working on Thursday and you lose your adapter for whatever reason, you have to wait until Tuesday to get another adapter. I might be able to get you one a little bit faster than that. You see that?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I don't know why I picked you to tell this story to. Well, because you're here a lot, so you probably get to hear a lot of stories of mine. So I said, well, let me make sure I tell this story today, and I will tell it to somebody who has heard most of the other ones. And then at least every day this week, man, you have chopped it up with me about a new and interesting topic. Now, give me some feedback, man. Am I telling you some worthwhile stuff here with these little stories?
Yeah, it's interesting.
All right. Well, trust me, Alexis, these stories are as important as what you're doing in your classes. And on some days, man, they're more important than what you're doing in your classes because they show you what life looks like on the other side of school. I'm somebody who has studied all this stuff that I'm teaching now. And
Yeah.
I am what you might call a model student, man. I was very serious about school and got good grades and
Hmm.
everything and went to great colleges and got good grades in college. I did everything that everybody ever wanted me to do in life. And I have realized that the most powerful part of my education, Alexis, has not been what I have learned per se. It's been the learning process itself. It's taking the learning process and applying it to the world around me and the problems that I see and learning.
Yeah.
I learned enough about those problems to figure out how to solve them. So back in 1998, I saw two things, man. I saw that the world had figured out that they needed computers. I saw that
Hmm.
the world had figured out that they needed access to the internet. And there were so many computers bought back then and so many internet accounts created. You kind of realize that there's going to be a lot of waste that occurs. A lot of people are going to have things that they do not use effectively, that they do not take care of. They will destroy them, they will waste them, they will not utilize them to their fullest potential. But that became an opportunity for me
Yeah.
because if you're a person, and there are a lot of people out there like this, if you're a person who always has to have the latest and greatest and newest everything, then you'll have your computer for a year, and the first time Windows crashes, you'll say, Psh, I'm getting a new computer. This thing does not work anymore.
Hmm.
And I'm over here with my hand up like, hey, what you gonna do with that old one? And if you're ready to get a new one for whatever reason, I ain't mad at you. I'm not gonna stop you. Just give me the old one, and I'll make something happen with that old one.
Hmm.
I have never bought a new computer in my life, man.
Dang, that's good.
No, no, I'm lying to you. I have bought one new computer. The first one I bought was brand new. And ever since then, I said, this is just like cars, man. By the time you buy a brand new car and drive it and get it dirty for the first time, it's probably lost 15 to 20% of its value. So
Awesome.
you might come out better, man, just getting used stuff and taking care of it. So that's what I do with
Yeah.
cars. That's what I do with computers. And it kind of works out and works out well. Do the same thing with tablets, man. Tablets were so popular once upon a time, then people started figuring out that there are a lot of things that you want to do on a tablet that you'll never be able to do because it's too small. So people started
Yeah.
getting rid of them left and right. So I
Hmm.
started getting tablets because even for digital learning, there's some areas where a tablet may work great. I actually think a laptop works a lot better over the long haul because you're just able to do more with it.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of things you can do with a tablet, man, in a digital class. It allows you to take the class on the road a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, man, if you don't have anything else now, I will end this long story. It was long enough. It was long enough to reach the ground, man. That's how long my legs are. Alexis, they long
Yeah.
enough to reach the ground. So the story needs to be long enough to tell you something meaningful. That's all. That's it and that's all. Remember that when you're writing papers, man. You don't ever have to stretch a paper or make up words to reach a word limit. You make sure you say enough to answer the question or to shed light on whatever topic, and that it's long enough then.
Yeah.
All right, my man. If you are good now, we can sign off. And remember, we don't meet tomorrow, but we will resume our meetings next Monday, August 24th.
All right.
All right, man. Take care.
All right. I see you.
All right, bye.
Bye.